I want
Hi.
Maggie to be my, like, somebody that hits me or something.
I'll do that part.
See?
I'll do the.
Oh, she had the Marshall going. Oh, no, that was terrible. Jules was just saying, do record. And in 30 seconds of seeing your name, Andrea, waiting to come in the room, I forgot again.
We're here for you. It's okay. We'll remind you.
If I get any lucky, I'm going to poop myself. Andrea, don't drink when you're teaching. You have to stop that. This is tequila, by the way. Lena and I are really big on tequila, you know.
I added the lime for you.
You got the lime? I'm getting some salt. And Maggie's going to table dance. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or Julie, she's like, what are you guys talking about?
Julie's a
We had
librarian.
like a private session.
You know about them librarians. They're like, la, 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 la. And then they go out and have half a tequila. They're like, wow, yeah. That's the kind of thing that goes on there. I know it.
I wasn't always a librarian. Let's leave it at that.
Oh!
Aha! It comes out. You and Caramia Biaggi, huh? Going out and getting them drugs. Doing them dances. Maggie can barely keep up with me. Let me see if she's ready to judge me. Almost. She's like, hell yeah, I am. Hell-bound demon bastard from hell trying to teach me Qigong, huh? Ah! Oh, that worked. That was okay, but your whole body has to move. I wish somebody was interested in self-defense because it's one of my greatest gifts. But, you know, I said to somebody this morning in town, it's like the most difficult spiritual subject. How do you do the step one? That's self-defense. Because if you actually remove the covering that says that I have an issue or I'm afraid or I'm vulnerable, then nature rushes into you. When nature rushes into you, you develop extreme, extraordinary, unique physical strength, magnetic strength. And then you look at people and you see their, you know, holes, like if you're in a 7-Eleven or wherever you go, you know, and the bad guy or the weird guy or the whatever person, gal, you know, you feel like you're not afraid of them anymore. 95% of any kind of a thing that makes you afraid when you're out and about in the world is just gone because you have X-ray vision and you can see how vulnerable people are. And that's like the true martial art masters. They know that they have to be super gentle. Like I want to do more of this stuff with Lena, you know, have her rolling around with me and sitting with me and, you know, this kind of stuff. And I know how to be that gentle. Oh, Andrea's like, but she don't, you know, she doesn't want to do it. I'm like, so you become really, really gentle with understanding how vulnerable you are and how vulnerable other people are. Okay. We're going to try our best to slow down time and stop time and reverse time and welcome in our entire genetic history, all of our futures that are at play, and really be a student, really be somebody that is receptive to this moment with these circumstances and these relationships. Andrea, I had, I don't know how long, dreams with me and your son in some kind of a war thing. We weren't fighting, we were like at the base. And I don't remember hardly anything, but just a couple bits.
Thanks
like
for
he was already
pre-processing.
at the base.
Thank you for pre-processing for me.
He was at the base and I was there, and I think they were like considering where I fit with everybody, and I didn't fit anywhere. So I was almost like some kind of a person just observing everything. And I was watching all these dynamics, and your son, I can't see him clearly, but I felt him and I understood that it was him. And, you know, I don't know what else was there, man. I woke up, but I know that it was pretty long. You know how when you have these dreams and then you go back to sleep beyond the dream and then you're in the dream again and then you wake up a second. That was going on for, I think, an hour. So
Wow.
There was something going on in that dream, but I don't know what. But I remember that part. Yeah, the pre-processing. this new revelation I have, which maybe could be of some benefit to everybody, is that I tend to want to pre-process so that I'm above conflict. So that if I go in town or I do a class or whatever, I'm in control. I got enough power and nothing said. And I found out that that's actually a sin. That's not being transparent. So even though I can pre-process or see a lot, what about when I'm facing you? Does that mean I'm in control and I'm the teacher? It shouldn't. I mean, maybe I'm playing that role and, giving things out and all. But actually, the role should probably be me being more vulnerable to Maggie's strikes. Me being more vulnerable to actually really being the same person as you. So that's different than trying to be in control, and that's so uncomfortable to be revealed like that. I felt like I was an ass yesterday because I didn't listen well enough to you two. Andrea said, "No, you're fine." Maggie's like, "Yeah, that's true. I remember that." Usually that's the way it is.
No, you were fine.
Yeah, totally fine.
We were like all one.
We had a private session, Maggie and I, with William. That's why. But can I jump in on that pre-processing thing? Because I feel like we've talked about that a lot. And
Please.
my take on that, when I try to pre-process, if I got it right, is that I'm just taking in what the people are projecting to me, and I'm kind of grounding it so that I've already felt the feeling, so that I can be more neutral in the situation. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah. And the new addendum to that is that, wow, you're going to be completely raw and wrong and right and everything as soon as you engage. And if you could be honest when you're in engagement with the other, then the uncomfortable process of relating with the other individual is there. And you just have to be able to be wrong. Oh, I thought of this neat thing, Andrea, yesterday. We were talking about past, and you were talking about with the son. Jules, Andrea had the meeting with the son. You want to tell her, just to all be one big team here?
Since we're recording, everybody's going to hear this.
Sure,
I'll share.
Oh, no. She didn't like that too much.
No, I don't care. I know Alex knows.
It's better to really just keep it going.
So my son has been estranged for about 1.5 years, and I'm not sure why, right? I had no idea. He left, and he's 19 now, but I had the opportunity to see him in person the other day. I surprised him, so it wasn't like, "Oh, wow, you're here." It was, "Oh, hell no." And
He said that.
He said that. "Oh, hell no."
To his mother.
When he saw me, he goes, "Oh, hell no." And he starts to back out of the door and close it. And my mother, it was my mom's house, she went to the door and said, "Noah, come on in." And he yells at my mother, "How dare you do this to me? How dare you let her in there?" So I go outside, and he's sitting in his friend's car, and he's shaking his head at me. "No, no," he goes. So I walk to I was using my Qigong one step at a time, but I walked to the window, and I said, "Can I just speak to you for 5 minutes? What do you need to speak to me for?" And he just kept asking me. Finally, I said, "Well, I'm not sure why you hate me so much. So I'd really like to get to the root of that and just try to make things better, be a better person." And finally, he got out of the car, and we started to walk. And I don't know, I didn't get far, but I just asked, what have I done so terribly wrong, and help me so that I could be a better mom and a better person. And he basically just said that I was a horrible mom. I am a horrible mom. I was never there for him, never showed up for his basketball games a lot. And when I was there, I wasn't present. And, he said he could have been in the NBA if I would have just supported him. Now
he's 5'6".
He's 5'6", yeah. So maybe he could have, but
yeah, sure.
Anyway, and he just said kind of, I don't know, I'd say mean things,
5'6".
In those moments. And I was telling William and Maggie yesterday is like, I just let him spew, you know, and I just said, let this just land and let this just land. And I don't need to defend myself because I know my piece of this. And so it was an hour later that we walked the same circle over and over. And I felt like I just can't stand here anymore. I'm so exhausted by this conversation because I wasn't getting anywhere. And I'm leaving out a lot of stuff because I'm trying to shorten the story. Is there anything that you guys remember that I left out? But that's basically it. I didn't get anywhere except that.
Can you imagine? I mean, I don't know. My response is quite angry and imbalanced, so I'm not so mature maybe. But can you imagine the son talking to the mother like that, and then Andrea is trying to pretend that it wasn't crushing and the rest of it, and he just says, "Oh hell no," and he sees her and says a lot of terrible things that she's not saying. Yeah.
Well, and when I said to him, all right, the past is the past, can we put the past behind us and like meet each other right here, right now, and build a relationship moving forward, better relationship? He kept saying, I don't even know you, you're a stranger, I don't love you. And so I was like, well, but can we then be strangers and get to know each other? So I was trying different angles and none of them.
What do you think, Jules? My response is not to be nice to that. And I don't know if I need a little moderation on that, but I would, my instinct would be that, no, this person needs to get grounded. And what do you think? You have anything to say on that? Because that's what I would do. I'm not sure how right I am.
I just can't even imagine what that would feel like. And I think that by just approaching, like in confronting and, you know, kind of trying to meet him where he's at is a step. And I could only hope, I feel like in that scenario, that person, that your son will at some point need to want to come to you. I don't know if there's a way for you to draw him in from the sounds of how the conversation went yesterday, but at least putting yourself out there and being open and willing to meet him where he's at, or start or try something different and recognize what his feelings are and what he feels is the disconnect. I don't know. I am just am so inspired by your action and just putting yourself out there and try. Like,
oh, thank you.
Yeah, that is quite holy. What do you say, Maggie? Where does the discipline come? Well, it is. I think that's really, really great.
It was scary as crap, I have to say. It took me days to like wrap my head around, like, I'm going to go see him. I'm so scared. But I did.
My worry is that kind of thing builds up and causes depression and disease and things like that. And that's why I'm more reactive. So I'm not quite sure. What do you say, Maggie?
I had a lot of time to think about it too. And I was praying a lot about it yesterday. And funny thing is that Gracie, my middle daughter that we were talking about yesterday, exploded on her dad, bad, and pulled like a Noah, like, but worse. And just like pretty much just screamed. I mean, it was like, you're evil and you're the devil and that. And it was like, I had to stand there and just kind of watch. And I thought, oh my gosh, no matter how well you parent and how much you instill in your children, they're just their own person. They're on their own journey. I mean, she knows better. You know, there's nothing I would ever say to any human, no matter what they've done to me, and things that came out of her mouth. And it just made me I was grounded in that moment, like, okay, it wasn't me. It's not my fault. Because at first I'm like, this is my fault. This is all me. I'm teaching her wrong. But she's going to be who she's going to be, and Noah's going to be who he's going to be. And that's just their journey right now. And I think all we can do is pray and stay firm with who we are, and they'll come back because we're in our spot. We know who we are, but it's not fun to watch.
I like that.
And if they don't come back, that's okay too. That's kind of in my head, you know, like I have to look at both of that. He might, and he might not.
And he might not, right? And Gracie might get that age and do the same thing Noah's doing. And I'll look at it and go, well, what the heck did I do wrong? But really, it's nothing, because I know she's only 13, but it's this far. I'm like, I know I've really done nothing to her to make her have this attitude this strongly, but it's within her.
Mhm.
And that's all I can get.
I like that. A little bit more of a hard line there, just for Andrea's health insurance plan. You know, modern psychology says 20 to 30, 35, the person has to bounce off their parents, has to forget them and blame them. And they say that that's like a rule of psychology, just to put that out there. I love what you said too, Andrea. Who knows if he comes back or not? I always wonder that about my family.
Mhm.
And now I am in the place of, well, I am definitely too busy at 53 years old. You know, I don't want to not evolve. And if I'm so worried about everyone else and everything else, I can't find these 3 steps. And it seems odd to me to talk about the 3 steps so much, but it's just a structured way. Now that we've brought up some issues, you can feel in your body stuff venting. You know, does anybody not feel that when you tend to someone else, or you find inside yourself, oh gosh, I'm worried about this? You can't resolve anything without it.
I feel like that with my family. I'm going through a lot of family stuff too after my mom passed, and I don't talk to any of them anymore. I'm skipping weddings this year, all this stuff. And I think about you a lot, William, because no matter how hard it is to be that person who that's not usually me. I'm usually the one that shows up, that gives my all, that takes everything out of my soul for everybody else. And for the first time, I'm almost like a little obsessed with the 3 steps. Like, you guys don't know what I'm even doing. You don't even know how much I'm trying to heal and feel better. And it almost felt selfish at first to say, well, I'm not going to do this and this and this, and you'll all have to wait. But now I'm in such a better place. Like, I'm confident in this is healthier than anything any of you guys are doing out there. So
The timing is so difficult. In other words, can you time it in such a way that you can have the other person avoid sickness, reunion with your family? That's like super master land that I've not reached. But if I could become more quiet, more still, and accepting of everyone and everything that's going on, and to the degree where I'm like suspended animation, then I could see the dynamics more. Like, I feel bad with my father. I couldn't do anything. The time before he was on his deathbed, it was like 4 months. We went on a cruise and then we came back. And basically any time that I went with my family, I can't wait to get out the door at the end. And like really, I got the $500, really happy about that, you know, and everybody's nice enough, and, you know, they're them, and like Italian TV, yay, wow, that's great. And I just like, can't wait to get out the door. Well, the time before he was like on the deathbed, I remember he said, you know, I love you. And I tell you, I didn't have anything. All I said to him, you know, you're my hero, which is kind of true. You know, this guy was an amazing guy, came from nothing and made $10 million and holds records at golf courses around the world, and, you know, all kinds of great things. And I just didn't, all I want to do is get out the door. And he was trying to reach out from his half-stroke sort of weird world he must have been living in at that point, but basically could still talk, and said that to me. And I just kind of like, because I always got to be like the best martial artist with everybody, no matter what they're saying in the family. I have to make sure that I'm faster, because I'm just afraid that I'm going to get pulled into some kind of a thing that I'm not able to pull myself out of. And now that I'm an old man, when am I going to pull myself out of it? So I feel bad that I couldn't do that. And now I realized what he did was amazing. The responsibility and the making of the money, and the, you know, my mother making perfect Italian dinners 6 days a week, full blown on the table for my whole upbringing. And, you know, they did amazing things. But now at this point, I failed with that one. And I don't know if I can do it with my mother and sister and brother. I don't know if I can catch up, because they're just totally, in my opinion, very fast on me, and I don't understand if I can catch up. Anyway, if we can at least do our process, if we can make sure that the most important thing is really to clean out ourselves and to find a new angle on how we're going to become more clear, more strong as an individual. The whole thing of being on the airplane, put the oxygen mask on first. People say that, that's selfish. That's not the way it is. And the lady at the market some months ago, who owns a bunch of businesses around town, she said, I don't know if I believe in that. Put your oxygen mask on first. She won some award, for a humanitarian award, does a lot for a lot of people. And I said to her, well, be on the airplane, be going down in the airplane and try to help other people without putting your oxygen mask on first. That ought to be clear. But our minds say, no, I've got to keep up. I've got to do more with the other person. I've got to be more present. I got to experience doing it better. And that's what the method is for me to succeed. I've got to be more educated. I've got to eat better. It's all bullshit, Maggie. It's all bullshit. Christian natural giving is not because of a set of rules. It's because of the spirit of grace. It's because you stop everything and you say, oh, I'm definitely imperfect. That's why I love making faces and being goofy, because even though I'm an extremely serious individual, if I do that, then at least I can see how you react. And, if you have no room for that, then I don't know how close I want to be to you. If you want to be perfect, then you're going to get dumped. You can't be perfect. You have to allow yourself to be imperfect and not live up to somebody else's expectation or the world's expectation or what you think is, the way to go in life. Step 2, slow down and receive help. So now that we realize what's exposed in our genome, what's exposed in our behavior, what's exposed in how we did it wrong, that's the mastery of it, The mastery of it is how are you wrong? But that's really tough to get to with people. That's a little bit advanced for people. So I'm not really allowed to say that much, but when I teach, boy, I'm going to say it. I don't care. Because that's the deal. Because I'm only trying to teach myself. This is just extra. So wrong or right, I'm going to let it fly. You need to express yourself whether you're wrong or right. In other words, what you have inside your mind and who you are, you need to let other people see that. How are you ever going to see yourself if all the time you're just going to be like this with everybody and not be yourself? So that step 1 thing is the first step to Qigong. I have to put it in Qigong format because this is the Qigong game. If you remove the covering and you find out how you need to be redesigned, the program is just like a computer. The program in your brain, the program of how you speak, the program of how you're listening to your family, how you're speaking, how you're interpreting, how you're dreaming. That's all a bunch of ones and zeros. It's not you. If you have a body and you have a life and you have a house and you have a car and you have a background and you're of this ethnicity and you are, who is you that has these things? I have 3 children. I have, whoever it is that I'm speaking through right now. I want a child. I am concerned of why I'm never good enough. So I wrote a book called Born Enough. I. So who's the I? Who's that? Who is it? It's not, I think this about myself. I think this about William. I think, I do, I am. I have a right hand. I have a left hand. I. Okay. So who's the I? That's enlightenment stuff. Now, You bring God into it, you bring Christ into it, you bring deity into it, and a good idea. Because that then is a mediator. Look at that. It's a mediator between self and something else. An airplane, a space shuttle is all conceived in the imagination. So if you don't have any imagination for a teacher, you don't have any imagination then. You only have imagination for nature. You only have imagination for, the conception of the mind to reach out and experience a tree. Okay. What about a sage or somebody super wise? There's no conception of that? Come on. There's got to be a conception of that so that you could become that or become more in union with that. Now, you have to not know who you are or where you're going. You have to not understand. If you can't give up, you're using your intellect to have a comment. You're going to forget it. You can't learn. A belief system is a delusional thing when what it does is separate you from other people. The Bible says, come out from among them and be you separate, and I will be your God, and you will be my daughter or son. Okay, so first you're separate. Now, in the belief system of I'm different than the other person, is it augmented towards inclusion, or do you use it to be better than? You better think about it. Better check yourself before you wreck yourself. How come I always go like this? Audrey's teaching me how to smile, and my honey bunny is teaching me how to smile. I don't know how to do it. All right, let's go bounce around and go, oh, the tree. What's this now? That one. What's this one? Oh. So step one is getting your head thumped by wisdom better than you. Right? Step one is, I don't understand, I have a problem. You get those two things going, and then you can enter step two. Step two, more clearly, is being able to receive. Nature is the access point to Sage's Saint Land. Everybody needs intervention, divine, supernatural, miraculous intervention. I mean, can you see how it's true that the tree and the nature and the friend can clear the air in a thing within your own mind, within your own physiology and history that's never been cleared? You have one moment, remember the ideas around here? So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create moments that ripple, that transform who I am and how I live. Babaji, oh, you got to see the garden. Holy cheese whiz. How about them apples? Gigantic squash. See the tomatoes? Raspberries, and the corn is like almost 3 feet high, I guess. And like 20 beans, 20 lettuces, 4 tomatoes. Is that right, honey?
Yes.
4 tomatoes. I don't know how good I'm doing with the camera work. 20 kales, maybe? And then the flowers. Flowers on every corner, and the front flower garden is through the roof. Inspired by Honey Bunny a la mode. I would have never had all them flowers there if it wasn't for you. And I still have to get better next year at it, I guess. Okay. Bounce. Oh, it's gonna be keep bouncing. Yo soy hombre sincero. Do I look Mexican a little bit? You know, honey, somebody said you're starting to look Mexican. I said, good. Imagine how grounded those people are. That's what I need for my white privilege. Yo soy hombre sincero. La 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 la, arroz con pollo. Feliz Navidad. La 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 la. So, you know, the song or the teaching or the something will get you into a place where you're starting to forget all your problems. And you need to make sure it happens every day. The prayerfulness must be embodied. Your reverential, if you don't have reverential attitude towards someone, not just nature, then you're not going to heal your psychology. So you need to find that set of people, set of words, books, good. And you make enough great contact and it starts to go away, the whole world. Then you can re-enter the world and you can have more effectiveness. Get in and get out, like going to the store. Everybody gets blessed and you're still safe. That's what I try to do. Look at Julie, she's like jumping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And Maggie, let me hear deep breaths, can I? The deep breathing is hard to do through the nose. Come on, deep breathing through the nose. Andrea, you ought to be a natural at that one, right? Because you got the exercise. So she's like, yeah, I know this part. Jules, deep, long, powerful breathing through the nose. This is the effort part. This is the step one. We did the psychological step one, and then you add on something physical. Oh my God, what the heck is Julie doing? Do you see that? You took over the screen there. All right, shake it out. Head. Head. Just shake your head like this, okay? Wow, look at Andrea go. See that hair going? Holy Moses. Come on, Maggie. Julie, you can't hear me anymore?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Look at me. I'm right here. All right, go like this, Julie. Okay, good. Shake it out. This effort is necessary to be able to relax. So I'm going to stretch it out. All right, relax. Andrea, don't be dropping over. What happened to you?
My dog is looking at me like I'm nuts.
Well, we are nuts. This is the Nuts Patrol here.
She's like,
Hands. Shake it out. There's a mutual disease dynamic between us and other people in the areas of where there's problems that grate on each other. So shake that out. Shake it off your body. Go like this, Julie. Find the earth. Down low. Remember that, honey? Where you go, and you just like, look at my body, how it kind of, the energy of my body. See if you can start to see people's energy. Watch. Can you see that shift? It's like I'm 100 tons. Okay, a quarter of a ton. And I'm just, I'm landing right here. Right here. Go ahead. Let me see, Maggie. The daughter there, Maggie, have her join in. Let's go. All right. Hello, miss. Hi. All right. Go like this with your hands, okay? And now imagine God and sky and stars, twinkling stars. Remember them and give a little bit of reverence to all that and look up. And give a little bow so that you become receptive. And open your hands up like this. Now, there's clouds, there's blue sky, there's stars. There's your conception of more and deity. Allow that to be perceived up here. Make contact with it, just like you make contact with one of these tree leaves. Make contact with this and gather in the feeling. And now go like this. Start to have your face shine inwards. Look inwards with your eyes, your ears, and touch your heart and bring down. Prayer hands. Now, how many feelings of nature's nourishment? Does that make sense? How many feelings in nature that nourishes you can you contact? You got the tree. See the mountain back there? You got a 14,000-foot mountain over there. There's rabbits, my cat, your dog, your cat, mountain lions, bears. Stand like this and see how many nourishments of nature you can feel at one time. Your connection with nature is very important for the grounding of your brain. Give a little bow. And now open up to mountains, oceans, rivers, trees, animals. Feel the nourishment of these things, you know. Gather in, touch the head, because that's what you got to calm down. Everybody has to calm down their head. This way, inner looking, inner listening, swallow down. Like you're eating invisible food. Bring it down through your body. Prayer hands. Stand. Relax. Start to breathe deeply. Longer breath. All I want you to do is relax. Now, start to pay attention to what's underneath you. I mean the ground underneath you, not the people and not the building. The ground. Notice your feet. Do you have a solid stance? Give a little bow to the earth underneath you. And open up and gather in. Touch this, just like if you're in a park or something. Touch the head. Good, that's good. What's your daughter's name, Maggie?
Gabby.
Oh, that's Gabby. The famous Gabby? Holy Moses, I'm a big fan. I listen to you sing. That's really good. Oh my God, you look exactly like her.
Come closer. I know she's my twin.
Wow. All right, like this one. So all I'm trying to have you do is to concentrate so that you can feel nature right here, even inside the building. Now, move your hands like this in a relaxed way. You want to extend your attention span. You don't want to always remain stuck on go. You want to relax sometimes in life. Move your hand all the way to the back of you like this. Okay, and then put your other hand up like this. Now, this tree and that garden and that mountain, they all have feelings of nourishment that's given by life. If I'm stuck in my head, I can't feel it. So you could say in your own mind, you could say 10 to give you structure. And for 10 seconds, try to connect with the nourishment that's all around you. Okay? So you have prayerfulness, you have scripture, you have good things, and you have nature and your own person. That's where it gels. All the way back this way. Touch the field. In the air, there's lots of things. What's in the air of your life? Clean it. You have to be able to be uncomfortable and able to be exposed in your own distortions or problems or wrongs, even if you're wrong in some ways. Because everybody has some wrong, right? Everybody has some wrong, right? What? This way. Oh, there's a little bird. See if anybody's waiting in the room there. Okay. Now, bring your hands down like this. You know, in Kung Fu and all this kind of stuff, they talk about chi power. Well, the heart has a 40-foot field of measurable magnetism. In a hospital, when they diagnose a person's heart, just like Star Trek, they go whoop, and they measure the magnetism that's coming out of the heart, and they can see what's going on in the heart from that. So chi and prana and yoga and all this kind of stuff is all quite real. Just scientifically, it's biomagnetism. Okay? When you push a shopping cart, let's pretend you're pushing a shopping cart, the energy to push that shopping cart goes out of your body if you're not using your muscles. So scientifically, if you measure your hands and you're imagining pushing something heavy, the magnetism coming out of your hands becomes stronger. So when something spiritual happens in a good way, you have a spiritual blessing, your body becomes magnetized. And that's related to this kind of an exercise. It's just a way to help the integration of spirit, mind, and body. Now, if you're opening a cabinet, pay attention to what you're doing. Integrate your joints. So let's open a cabinet and close the cabinet. Do you notice your feet? Do you notice your hip? Do you notice your head? Or are you just opening the cabinet like this with your head? You see, Gabby? That's your hand. I want you to use your whole person so that it becomes an experience of where you're connected with your inner world and you're expressing it in the outer world in a symbiotic way. Andrea, stay on your feet. Stay on your feet and get some knees. You've got to have bend in your knees in life. Otherwise, you'll have knee problems when you're older. Like this, and like closing it. And just like all practices, nature is included. In every spiritual tradition, you have experiences of the stars and you have experiences of nature. So I want you to open up to the stars now with the prayer hands, okay? And give a little note of respect. Open up to the stars. Gather in. Bless the head. Bring it down through the body. Now there's this form called One Finger Zen. We're going to do that one, okay? Ready? Om Ahum. And give a little bow. And open up to the vast expanse of nature. Try to feel nature's nourishing. Gather in carefully. Touch the head. Down through the body. Hands come up. Okay, and stay there. So all we're doing is paying attention to our own mind and body and spirit. Okay? So whatever your religious belief, whatever your personal belief, that's great. I'm just saying pay attention to your bones and to nature as well. Let your spirituality become grounded. Don't be so spiritually minded that you're of no earthly good. Don't be so stuck in the sky that you can't bless people's lives. Put your hands like this and try to feel the magnetism between your hands. Okay. And now open up like this. Gabby, equalize your weight more on your right foot. Thanks for listening. I'm very mean. Like this, strong stance, okay? So that way people can't mess with you as much if you have strong stance, strong feet. Make sure you're balanced left and right. All right. Like this. That's good, Andrea. And slow it down a little bit so you start to feel that magnetism. Imagine that there's a ball, a big ball, and you're pressing the ball. Again. Pressing the ball together so it's creating more intention from your mind, more focus to press that ball, but you're not using your muscles. Like this. Okay. Now notice the equal distance of your fingers. Are your fingers fairly relaxed and even? Make your right and left shoulder even. Little bend in your elbows, Jules. That's really great, Andrea. Great, Maggie. Like this. You see how my fingers are even? Just make them relaxed. If you want to have more strength, be more relaxed. Like this. Like this. It's just a funny little form. Really, it's in how you move and open and close doors. It's embodiment. It means that your brain is aware of your body. It's not stuck in too much thought. And every human being has too much thought. Psychological science says we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts each day. You know, that's a lot of wasted energy. Minds are racing. Your mind is racing. Calm it down. When you train yourself, when you have prayer time, when you have meditation time, when you have certain practices, physical and otherwise, this is time where you can train yourself. You can actually come back to a place of where you find calm. And you integrate it with your personality, who you are and how you live. Go like this. Like this. Can you feel the magnetism? Yeah, that's good. That's good, Gabby. Gabby's got a lot of magnetism. Like this. All right, like this now. And now turn your right hand over very gently. Maggie, drop your elbow. Be relaxed. Maggie's more, Gabby's more relaxed than you are, Maggie. Like this. And now we go up and back. Feel the magnetism? It's science. It's not pseudo silliness. I don't do pseudo new age bull. Like this. You feel the magnetism? So your temperature changes, all right? That's just change in magnetism. Every cell in your body has the north and south pole of magnetism and receives and emits information. The planet has a north and south pole of magnetism. You need to become aware of what is in your life by calming your mind. Little exercises like this might help. Like this. Like this. Bigger circle, biggest circle. Do 3 of them and make the circles even. Good. Don't forget to bend in the knee, Andrea. Knees. Now we'll start over and we'll do the other side. Om. You got to make some sound. It's not evil to say om or this or that. Come on. Om. Ah. Om. How about the sound shh or the sound ah? You know, in almost every religion, the syllable ah is the name for God. Buddha, Allah, Shiva, God, Jehovah. Ah, why? Because that's like a revelation. So when language was first created in Sanskrit, oldest language in the world, that's the first syllable. So you need to make some kind of sound. If you don't like the om, you don't like the whatever. But you need to express yourself. You can't be bottled up. So you could just say shh sometimes. Some kind of sound. Make some kind of sound. In this form, we do the Om, Ah, Hum, Om, Ah, Hum. We open up to the stars, and we bring the stars, the essence of like looking at starlight, twinkling stars, into the brain, into the throat, into the heart. And then we do this. We go like this, like this. Go ahead, let your hands open and let your hands come down. So again, this is just a silly form. It's really in how you turn, how you open and close the door or cabinet. But what is difficult about what we're doing is that I'm making our attention span stretch. So your mind might become very distracted. But I would say stick with it, because the result of a reverential or a prayerful attitude where you're having some contact like God or some mentor you respect, something that becomes a better feeling in your heart and mind and body. If you give up your anxiety and you give up your problems for a little time, when you go back to them, they'll still be there. When you go back to them, you'll have more insight. So I would encourage you to just to stretch your attention span and keep going. Om, Ah, Hum, like this, like this, like this. And then bring your hands up and have the two palms facing each other. Go ahead, bring your palms up. That's great. All right, and now a little energy. Make a little energy happen. It's just for you, it's not for me. Like this. When you're doing practice, it always seems like it's wasted time. But afterwards, you'll see it's a better day, most likely, if you're effective at what you're doing. Right hand on chest, left hand on belly. Now breathe in such a way that your chest doesn't move. Watch my chest goes in. That's true diaphragmatic breathing, which all sports professionals and doctors and everybody advocates. Try to breathe down so that you develop some power in your gut. Make sure your knees are bent and breathe in and out. Breathe all around. This should all expand on the inhale. Slow down more. I'm going to put everybody on this side so I can see you better. Close your eyes, relax. When you calm down, it's easier to see your behaviors. So you can wash all this stuff. Because that doesn't matter. Your behaviors is a computer program. Who you are is more than your psychology and your body and your behaviors and who you think you are and who other thinks you are. Think you are. You see? Oh, there's my cat. He's like a little lion. Taz, you want to come over and bless everybody or no? He's like, he just went away. Place the back of your hands, please, on your lower back. Can you feel your lungs move when you inhale and exhale there? Who cannot feel their lower back move? Come on, really? You can all feel your lower back move? It's pretty advanced. Gabby, you can really... Huh?
How low, like by your tailbone or just below your ribs?
Little bend in the knees. You want to have on your ribs. So your thumbs are going to be on your ribs.
Okay. Okay.
And your back of your hands will be on your lower back.
Okay.
But you should feel it on your thumbs, depending on how flexible you are. If you can really feel your lower back moving when you're breathing, then you're in like 5% of the world. I've taught thousands of people, and almost nobody can do this. Everybody except Gabby has been learning from me for a long time, so they should be able to do it. But if you can really do that, Gabby, I'm impressed. Okay.
I feel it really very much.
Really feels it.
Sorry?
He really does feel it.
That's really great. That means that you can bring your brain into your body, because your body's like the grounding of your brain. And if you're too active in your brain, then your digestion, your feet, your roots, they don't have any stability. So by doing this simple exercise, you can help your brain calm down. All right, let's go back to when we were here. And now do left side, where the left is on top of the right. Turn. We'll do a few of these. I know I always do things a little differently, but over time you decide what you like to do. If you don't want to do these silly movements, then you can just practice how you open and close a cabinet. And walk through a door and sit in a car, and how you walk. That's the essence of this stuff. Now, if you're not aware of the sky and the earth and your connection in spirit, then you're not going to have the best energy. You have energy as an individual, but really you should let life flow through you rather than trying to keep everyone and everything out and be different and special than everybody. So you see, the sky above my head makes the perception of me much easier. If you have any troublesome relationships in your life, see the space above them and the space around them in the midst of talking with them, and you're going to see things in perspective. Finger down, and now like this. And you're imagining the magma, you know, the molten lava in the earth when you're doing this. Because each thing, like flowers, like trees, like birds, they're part of the offering of life for God that's nourishing you if you just take time to slow down and be able to do it. Let's do that one again, the regular full routine. Om. Focusing on bringing the nourishment in your throat. Hum. Bring the nourishment in your heart. Hum. This form that you're learning was created by the same person that invented Kung Fu. A lot of extraordinary spiritual and physical abilities are found in the art and science of Qigong. Like cotton candy or silk moving in between your hands. Small circle, largest circle, largest circle. Magma. Small circle, larger circle, largest circle. Extend in front of you. How even can your circle be now? Small circle, larger circle. Drop your shoulders. Larger circle. Like this, like this. Here's the beginning of the original Tai Chi form. You can just watch or copy is what you can. We're going to learn this over the next year so that you have more calm time with your own mind and body. Now remember, each individual is different. You don't have to do Tai Chi and Qigong, but you do have to walk carefully and pay attention to your mind and body and spirit relationship more carefully. Give time to it. If you say 10 in your mind in practice, it'll build. Everybody wants to say, well, I have the immaculate spirit connection, and I have my own program. So it's very, very difficult to be receptive to instruction. But like I always say, there's got to be one person on the entire earth that's trustworthy enough to mentor you and to help you. If not, that means your ego is so blown out that you haven't contacted it yet. Okay? So there's books and movies and people and all kinds of versions. I just want you to develop a mind, body, spirit routine that you can train every day. Just augment what you already do. If you already do prayer, you already do some exercise, well then add connecting to nature in a specific way. Add some things. Here's some Tai Chi. This is the original temple style Tai Chi. Give you a little more view. The secret to being the fastest is being the slowest. If you want to get more done in your life, you have to slow down and go about things more carefully. Like going camping or something where it's deeply relaxing. Don't wait for 2 experiences a year to make yourself relax deeply. Make it part of your everyday. Don't wait to go on vacation. Make it part of your life. Then you get smarter, you get healthier. When you can move carefully like that, you speed it up. Yo soy hombre sincero. Oh, I love to sing. She's out? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Huh. Yo soy hombre sincero. Trying to get that count your blessing pillow. but he's doing Tai Chi. Oh, I thought you ducked out. There you are. See, I'm not as funny as I look. I mean, no, I meant, I better plug this thing in or never work. Yo soy hombre sincero. Now we're going to meditate. That bastardized, hellbound thing. 25 cents, I know. Oh, I got to plug in the volume.
Is that the only part of that song you know?
Yeah. I'm learning more, though. I keep saying I'm learning more, and I don't. I'm just a failure, basically. But oh, I learned how to say hungry today. Hungry is honey, what is it? Hombro?
Hombre.
Huh? Oh, you know. Hombre? Hombre? So it's, what's the difference between saying a person and saying hungry? Somebody?
H-O is like hombre, right? And
Hombre.
hombre is H-A.
Oh, hambre.
Hombre.
I'm sorry, honey.
I think. And
Hambre. Hombre, hambre. Si tuviera fe como un grano de mostaza. Esto lo dice el Señor. Cristo te llama en espíritu y verdad. Búscalo. You know what that means? Christ is in the spiritual search for him. It's a song in Spanish, and when I want to pretend like I can speak Spanish, I just say it. I think I'm getting in trouble right now. Honey pie, I'm going to put on the darn lessons today. Promise. Whew, it's hard to learn another language. All right. Now, what is meditation? There's a scripture that I have around here.
Meditation is another language. There you go.
Does she do it or what? Oh my gosh. Yeah, meditation is another language. Well, that'll kick me off. I don't even have to go to what I was going to find. You know, there's a lot of scriptures in every tradition about being silent. I meditated on my bed, sat silent with my heart. In the Old Testament says, as I meditated, the fire burned in my heart. What is this, all this stuff about meditation? What does it mean? Well, let's just look about the science, okay? I mean, if a medical doctor or science says if you have more brainwave coherence, means your brain is coherent. That's a good thing for you. Well, that's like meditation. Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to God. Where does nature come into that in your world? You make up your own mind. I'm not, you know, an enlightened person or anything, so I don't have things so much to tell you, really. What I'm trying to do and what I do in my classes and everything is I give people lots of options. And I say, okay, what do you want to do for spiritual training? What do you want to do for psychological training? What are your psychological weaknesses? What are your behavioral weaknesses? What are your strengths? What do you like in nature? Do you like a tree, a flower? Try to choose some things. Do you like a bear or a cat? Try to be aware of where you are, which is here. You're there, right? You're here where you are. Don't be so afraid of whoever's in front of you that you got to use your intellect and just dice them up and dismiss them. Because that's what everybody's going to do with me. Everybody always does with me. Just use your intellect and say this and this and this, and then that's it. I'm gone. I'm out. Well, if you reach real wisdom in life, like scriptures, like real wise people, you can't get away with that anymore. With a little mini human like me, you can get away with it. But when you come up against like super wise people or something like this, like say you have 5 quotes and you write those 5 quotes down, you're never going to equal the wisdom of those 5 quotes. So now you're a student. You write down the quotes, you write down the place in nature, you write down the scripture, you write down the beliefs. And you are a student. You're not a teacher. That's the great secret, is to be a student. But you, and me too, are so afraid and so in shock that we can't do anything but have a commentary on anything anybody says. It's not going to work in the long run. That's what life grinds us down with age. And hopefully, at least with age, do you think I'm balding? Hopefully, at least with age, you get a little humble and you go, okay, I'm going to try to listen more. Like the Spanish lessons, it's torturing me. It's too long now. I'm not learning the darn Spanish. So I'm very berating myself and very depressed about it. And, you know, what kind of excuse is that, right? It's easy to point at me and say, well, learn the Spanish then. You know, so I'll put the darn thing on again and I'll press play and I'll be a student of your wisdom. It's very easy to dice up the person in front of you. Very easy. I've been a martial artist, as you all know, for many, many years. And I would say at least, I'm not in the category of fake martial artists. I'm more like the real thing. And so on the higher levels of that kind of stuff, boy, I have to be humble because I'll just get destroyed. So that's kind of like life. Life has all kinds of things coming at you all the time. And if you can be a student and be receptive, then you won't get into the place of being shocked and have explosive moods or depression. You will go beyond it. You'll find a way to be more resilient because it's about personal resourcefulness, not resources, not what you can get. If you think about it, you want to go get something. You want to do something. I've got to get more money. I've got to get more success. It's all silliness. All right. So meditation is first paying attention to what is going on here in your world. Most little teachers, little fragile ego teachers like me, they're only marginal benefit. But you find real wisdom, real quotes, real teachers, now you're going to have to be a little quiet and a little receptive. You're going to have to be a student. Because inside your mind, where's that Andrea Lynn? Inside your mind, can you imagine her hair? Do you think her hair is born of God? I think it's pretty amazing. Okay, yours too. So, I don't know if we should wait for her. First step in meditation is realizing that you need guidance like a GPS. That your whole addiction of being the knower and waiting for everybody to realize how special you are is a road to doom. You want to be special? Be ordinary. You want to be powerful? Be weak. The Bible says, suffer it be so for now, for it's good for us to suffer injustices because our strength is made perfect in weakness. And you can test anytime I say something. I'm happy about that. So it says the strength is made perfect in weakness. So if the strength is made perfect in weakness, are you doing the first step of meditation, of spiritual communion, of life, which is to reveal your weakness? Or are you so afraid as being revealed as not good enough or not competent or whatever, that you can't do that first step? I tell you the truth, we all can't do that first step because we don't feel safe. So if you make a list and you work on that list, Andrea, you'll find another new contact. I'll say something new, somebody else will say something new, you know, and you'll be like, yeah, I got it. And now you'll start to relax because your brain, your cortex, that's the place that has to relax, this part of your brain, cerebral cortex. If you're really upset, somebody blesses you there, right? That's where you get the hands on the healing, all that. So this part of your brain needs to stop being in shock about what's out there. You can do that by telling the truth that you have personal issues. You with me, Gabby? That's the first step. Be receptive. Second step is to find out where it is in your brain that you could use some education and some nourishment from nature and start to change the direction of your eyes. Have your eyes go this way, go inward. Start to slow down. So slow down your breathing patterns now. Make it longer, calmer, finer, slower, more even, and just relax. Good. Make each breath longer than the previous by counting. Count, say, 5 seconds on the exhale. Pause for 5 seconds. 6 seconds on the inhale. Keep adding a second and keep relaxing. You want to be more protected, you have to be more receptive. Because when you're more receptive, you have more ability to move and shake with whatever's in front of you, whatever's coming at you. Whether it's a family member, whether it's your own ego, whether it's your own fear of life, you know. If you can calm down and slow down, kind of like when you are reading something or singing something or praying something that you really enjoy, all of a sudden you forget your troubles and everything extends. Your brain rhythms extend. When you go on a vacation, your brain rhythms extend and you land in your vacation destination, and then all of a sudden you find peace of mind. That's okay, we're going to get there. So right now it's like, you know, you got the ticket to your vacation destination and you're slowing down your brain. You're like on the car ride or you're in the plane. Good. Longer breath. Don't go right to no breath. This is the second step of longer breath. Longer rhythms. Julie, let's make that posture shored up, okay? All right? Let's straighten the posture and stuff. It makes a difference. Yep. You get to be seated really strong. Soften your chest. Soften your face, your brain. And start to ground like you're going to sleep. The body gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Jules teaches meditation. And the first step, as she knows from this insight meditation, is paying attention to your breath. Why? Because that's what's here. If you're very quiet, that's what's here. Don't go off in your brain yet. Don't go off into devotion yet. Take a time to ground yourself. Good. Longer breath, longer breath, longer breath. And don't tilt your head back unless you're in worship. That's more like the third step. Right now, we're just calming down. So you want your nose in line with your navel, ears in line with shoulder. Very even. That's great. Okay. Keep adding a second. Count. Believe me, you're so distracted and erratic in your brain that you've got to count. And again, you want to calm down and get focused before you go in your devotion and your prayer. Settle down, relax first, and then your contact with God and life and nature is going to skyrocket. So don't worry. Just find the ground where you're at here. Find the house where you're sitting in. Find the relationships you're involved in, the circumstances you're in. Good and bad, right and wrong. Just be with it a minute here. Longer breath, longer breath. Let me get some pure birds. Bring your attention down. Don't be in the head space. Just try to find the earth underneath the building you're in there. Just ground. Deep relaxation for a while. Like if you were in this scene. It would work, right? You got to learn to do that while you're facing people. And if people behave in ways that are not forgiving and receptive and things like that, then you can discern that they're working through something. And you can discern that about yourself. You don't have to judge it. Big difference between judgment and discernment. Calming down. Watch. After I get done talking now, I'm going to breathe one breath. Challenge yourself. How long can you make your breath? That was one breath without straining or anything. Longer breath, longer breath. If you can't see the light through your eyelids, then you're wandering in thought too much. Remember that statement so that you know you're just going to keep calming down and begin to start some kind of prayer or some kind of great contact. Whatever relates to you, a stream, flowing water, God, Jesus, whatever for you, okay? We don't want to restrict people from getting nourishment. Life is all giving. Like the Bible says, the rain falls on everybody. The sun shines on everybody. So you've got to forgive that guy, that gal, that father, that mother, that whatever, for your own health. And it gives you more ability to understand the person's unmet need. Because everybody's coming from a place of starvation. Pay attention to me, this stuff. But you're going to be stronger if you can just trust and find your way to a moment where you're beyond thought. Be still. Be still. As you progress here, begin to choose happiness. That's what happens when you really make great contact and all of the fatigue goes out because of the stream or the friend or something. So you just say, I'm going to be happy because I want to be happy. I'm going to sing my songs because I want to sing my songs. I'm going to have a walk by the lake because I want to. Take care of yourself. Put your oxygen mask on first. In this opposite world where people are trying to find an external solution for a personal problem. Give yourself structure to find yourself again, because you're going to find that you're not your mind, your body, your history, your circumstance. even the futures, whether they be doom or wonder. You're not any of it. You're somebody that's quiet, observing your own life, observing your own brain. Find that through your great contact. And begin to alternate between natural pauses of the breath and then deep sighs of relief, relieving grief and whatever. It's the structure. Do the structure. Over time, it'll become natural, just like the scene in nature. It's become so beautiful, like Andrea's hair. And you find this moment, and you pause. What's the great contact for you as an individual? Is it your best friend? Is it God? Find it to the degree where your mind becomes quiet now. You're being happy because you choose to be happy? Right in the face of all this stuff, Andrea? Yep. Just go ahead and be happy and cry at the same time if you want. But make sure that you feel cared about as an individual. Make sure that somebody on this earth cares about you. On this earth. God speaks through people, doesn't he? She, he, huh? So who is it and what is it? Nature's easy. Can you find a person or two? Let it in somehow, even if it's imagination. You could choose it, you know. A moment where you find yourself again. Your breath pauses, you smile a little bit, then you have a sigh of relief, and your body relaxes, and you let out the stress on the digestion, the bad vibe from something you feel you did wrong, or they did wrong, or some confusion, you know. Take no thought for tomorrow, for every day has enough worries of its own. JC. Take no thought for tomorrow? Well, so if you're following the injunction of that scripture found everywhere, then you're going to feel peace of mind because you're going to take no thought. If you have no thought, you can think genius thoughts. If you don't try to sing, you'll be the best singer. So forth. So just find out how your mind, body, spirit routine results in this peace of mind. When you get into the step 3, where you find pauses, natural pauses, sighs of relief, there's got to be some devotional or emotional element. Has to be touchy-feely. Otherwise, you won't get there. It's got to be something that's emotionally meaningful to you, where you're the recipient of grace. You're just a recipient, a patient. You're not doing anything. Just like a child is not responsible for getting food in their mouths. Well, we're all children like that. If we remember that, we can find a little more inner strengthening and be the recipient. And the bridge to that is something on your My Favorites list, some song, some sound, some person, some place in nature, some movie clip. You'd be really specific about your list, what you relate to as an individual. And lock onto that, forget about me and everybody else, and just receive from it in your own little secret world. You've got to endure the exposure of your own distortion to be ministered onto on deep levels of your person. So you can allow that too. The best place that you can get help for your mind and body is that one moment when you're in nature and everything is super nourishing. And you go, oh, that causes changes in the mind that help all of your lives, your whole life, each individual and everybody. So it's those peak moments that you want to have, from prayerfulness, reverential attitude leading to meditation. And each time it's like dipping in magic waters. So this kind of experience is more important than anything else in your life, period. Because only by doing what we've done, when the relationship comes back and when the duties come back, are you going to be capable to deal with it in a better way. And if you didn't discipline yourself to do a little mind body, do a little nature, do a little something to do with magnetism, do a little something to do with reverential attitude or prayerfulness or something meaningful to you. If you didn't do that, full spectrum self-training, then whatever's next on the day is not going to go as good. It never works perfectly. There's no great answer that I know of. But if you do your talents and your good habits and your good hobbies, and you give yourself some forgiveness for whatever's wrong, and you devote your life to your own self-refinement, and you make sure that there's time for that, and you improve in your ability to receive direction from the proper sources, you improve your ability to connect with nature. You know, this is not, as they say, rocket science. All I'm asking you to do is to make it specific and make it your own. Mind, body, spirit routine leading to meditation. Don't give up on it, because you can always become stronger and better but you're not exactly the best author of everything. See, your mind is like one computer, you could say. So is it connecting to the net? Is it connecting to God or life or nature? Or is it just constantly obsessing to figure everything out itself? It's constantly obsessing to figure out everything itself. All right? So just structure yourself 15 minutes a day, 10 seconds here and there, to make sure that you give yourself another chance in the midst of your own imperfection. Keep going. Do it for about 300,000 years, get back to me. I'd like to thank you all for being here. If you've enjoyed our time today, click the link at the bottom of the screen and sign up. It's just $19.95 a month. Click the link and you too can experience authentic meditation. Okay, that was a joke. Goodbye, everybody. Bless you and have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye. Bless you to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.